people are going to try to block you and keep you from being who you truly are. People are going to try to tell you to give it up, try to tell you not to be who you are, not to do what you're doing. Why is this? A big part of it is because as you are growing, expanding, awakening, connecting to a deeper part of your purpose, why you're here, you're ready to share creative projects that maybe you've never shared with other people before. Your creative genius that maybe intimidates, scares, or even, makes others feel a little bit lesser than, right? Because they're in this game of comparison, comparing each other to each other, right? And we're on the journey to escaping that game. Acquaintances, family, old friends, people that you've worked with, people that may even be in your life now, right? When you start to grow, when you start to share, when you start to express yourself from a deeper part of yourself and who you are, where you're coming from, where you're experiencing reality from, and you share that with people who are not experiencing that reality for themselves, it is going to be very uncomfortable for them, even if you have nothing to do with their life many times. Maybe you put a post up and you see a reply from somebody you haven't talked to in forever, and then they say something that's discouraging to you, because it doesn't fit their image of the same mind that they're stuck in from the past. They're still stuck as being the same person. We remember that post. I'm sure many of you have seen it. There's a post where sitting down together at it's like a little cartoon. They're sitting at a cafe or something, and one of them says, "You've changed," and then the other says, "We're supposed to," right? And a lot of this really doesn't even come down to us changing. It comes from us expanding and becoming more of who we truly are. Because what happens is in society, we get programmed, we get conditioned, and most people, these people that we're talking about, and we ourselves have been this person to some extent as well. It's important to recognize that, because we don't want to limit anyone else's growth either, or try to impede or threaten anyone else's journey of their growth and expansion. But it's important to remember that as that conditioning happens, as that programming happens in our lives, we develop reality of what everything really is to us. And it's all built around who we say we are, the things we say to ourselves, all of the circumstances and people in our lives, our last name, our family we came from, the race we have, the color of our skin, the ethnicity, the culture, all these different customs and traditions and all these different things, right? This is who we are, right? And while all those things are beautiful and parts of your journey in life and parts of who this body is connected to and related to, who the mind is connected to and related to, it's not who you truly are in your essence and the truth of who you are, which from my perspective is the primary purpose of us being in this earth school, is to continue discovering deeper and deeper who we are. And so as we expand and become more aware of that, it's in a way very uncomfortable or threatening, or it just doesn't rub right with people around you that have had an old, model of who you are, or maybe they just never even knew who you are at all. And so they just basically think of you as who they are in some way. They can't fathom that somebody is thinking that deep, or they can't fathom that it could be real that somebody experienced something beyond their scope of experience, right? And so it's important to not only realize they're going through their own journey and you wish well and love upon them, right? But it doesn't have anything to do with you. It doesn't have anything to do with who you truly are, because the tendency to start believing what they're saying or let it stop you, let it block you, right? Those things are going to happen on your journey of awakening, and sometimes it's going to come from people who are really, really close to you in your life too. And it's important to understand where they're coming from and why this is happening, so that it's healthy as you begin to slowly separate even if it's internally in a way that's you're protecting your own energy, things like this. You don't have to play anyone else's game, but it is important to respect where others are coming from and have compassion, understanding for where they're at, not judge them, realizing that everyone's going through their own experience, and just to be there for them, right? Any way they may need it, if it's right for you to do. Apart from that, you don't have to follow anyone else's advice for you. The path that you see, especially if you're tapping consciously deep into your heart, where that little boy or that little girl, they still live in there. The real you. The little boy and the little girl that really live inside of you, that really truly still believe in magic, still believe in possibility, still believe in greatness, still believe that they can be a superhero, right? That's the real you. That's the real you. And even that child wants to be on the journey with you. So go back and get the child, the inner child, bring them back with you. See through their eyes a little bit more again. Realize the possibility of you sharing your creative genius, you sharing your story, you being who you truly are, unapologetically and authentically, without the fear of anyone else's judgment. It's like one of my great mentors said, Mr. Peter Sage. He says, we can live by the goop, which is the good opinion of other people, or we can realize that they're too busy worried about their own lives to give two shits about you. That's really what it all comes down to. Because everyone else is so much worried about their own stuff that they're too busy to even worry about what you're doing or what you're going through. And many times if we get some type of abrasive interaction or connection with people, it doesn't have anything to do with you, really. What I've realized is that something you're doing is challenging something in them. Even if you're unconsciously, it's not purposeful that you're doing that, you're just being you, right? And that's a good thing, I would say. It's a good thing to just be you and allow that to bring up naturally whatever is going to come to the surface for anyone in your life. And the way that you deal with that is what's the most important thing. Deal with it with love, with kindness, compassion, understanding. Understand that if you are fully focused on your vision and what you're truly doing, nothing that anyone else is doing matters. And you will automatically adapt in the most natural, most peaceful, most healthy way with all the people around you if you're staying true to your vision and who you truly are. You being courageous and being yourself opens the door and gives permission to others, in a way, for them to begin that journey for themselves as well. Without you preaching to them, basically the non-reaction that you have to anyone who is maybe confronting you, or maybe they're challenging something you're saying, or maybe they're trying to just bring you down, right? The non-reaction that you have is a testament to you staying in your center. And you staying in your center takes courage. So you being courageous in that way to just unapologetically, authentically be yourself, as we said, this opens the door for so many others to do the same. And what happens is it creates a chain reaction. It creates a shockwave, a wave outward into not only the people around you, nature, but the cosmos as well. And so as you begin to resonate in your truth, then automatically you begin to align resonantly, attractively, right? The law of resonance and attraction and all these things. You begin to align with the divine gifts that are already meant for you, the divine frequencies, the divine resonance that you are divinely placed in being. And this is going to bring the things that you're looking for in life to you. And it doesn't mean things as in literal, physical, material things per se. Those come, don't get me wrong, but as I said in other videos as well, that type of success and acquisition is a byproduct of you embodying the truth of who you are. That is the first step, and that's the most courageous step. It's the only first step, and it's the only thing actually worth doing, I've found. If you try to go outward and you try to change everything out here, and you keep trying to explain these things to people that don't understand, or you keep trying to bring everybody with you, just be centered in you. It takes way more courage. What we're all working towards as a collective group of people who are awakening to our own truths, who are awakening to the reality, the deeper realities of nature and cosmos and the universe. In that process, we begin to have, as we said, people who are challenging us or coming against us or fighting against what we're doing, when we're not fighting against anyone, we're working towards something. Just like Gandhi, just like Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King, Cesar Chavez, same thing. Violently, people coming against them because they can't even fathom the scope or lens that you're looking through. They're seeing through their own lens, and a lens that doesn't see possibility. And so in that realization of where other people are at, all of the great ones, even presently that are here today, who are sharing powerful messages and who are having attacks on them probably on a daily basis, right? Their expression towards those people, if they're successful in staying courageous, staying centered, it's indifference. Turn around and turn the other cheek, as Christ said, right? Because they're centered in a deep place within themselves. That's the only thing that has the power to be that level of anchor. There's no outward identity, no power on the outside that is powerful enough to keep you centered within in your truth. Stay centered in your truth. And so I wanted to relate the depth of that with all of the great ones, even the ones among us in our daily life today. There's many here right now who we all get the chance to learn from, and we all get the chance to grow with, right? Knowing that the anchor is within you, the truth is you, the real you. That's where the anchor is. And having the connection to your higher self, your higher power, God, having connection to God, having connection to spirit, the unified field, the quantum field, the energy, life force, the source that is within all things, and it's transcendent and immanent, right? It's all. When we begin to realize that reality and we stay centered in that, we all have our own way of coming to the realizations. Staying centered in that, that's real courage. The old saying, if someone hits you, it's more courageous to turn the other cheek than it is to hit them back. Same thing with our words, same thing with our interactions. It's more courageous to turn the other cheek, show them love, right? That's really what they need. For those who want to try to block you, who want to try to keep you from your dreams, remember, they don't know your heart, they don't know what you've been through, they don't know your experience. And your experience is truly within you. You may do all these different things out in the world, but where is all the experience happening? It's within. And the deeper you go in there consciously, the deeper you connect to who you truly are, the more that little girl, that little boy starts to come back to life. Be ye as little children. That's how we enter that kingdom of love, that kingdom of greatness, right? So be ye as little children. Let that magic fly. Let that magic come alive in you. Don't let anyone sock it out. Don't let anyone push it away. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it, that you can't be who you are. All right? Peace and love, my friends.